Hello, I'm Nilanjan Chaudhary from Bangalore. I'm a science communicator and I'm working on the India Science Theatre project. When the Berlin Wall fell, I was in my hostel at the Indian Institute of Technology in Kanpur doing my master's degree in physics. Which wall does this project break? I think it tries to break the wall that lies between the sciences and the arts in India. So, what is this challenge that we face? Today in India, neither the general public nor our political leaders care very much for basic science. And this disengagement can have serious consequences in a developing country like ours. Meanwhile, as our ministers were busy chasing away the coronavirus, India continues to languish at the bottom of the table in basic science and research, in both quantity and quality. As a result, the last time an Indian scientist working in India won a Nobel Prize was 90 years ago, in 1930. Now, I know that a Nobel isn't everything, but it still begs the question. How does a nation of 1.3 billion people produce just one Nobel laureate in 90 years? Of course, there are many reasons for this, but one really important one is that very few young people in India today want to become scientists. Many of them study science, of course, but that's only so that they can become doctors or engineers. So, what's the solution? While there are no silver bullets, one way is to try and communicate to young people the sheer beauty of nature and science, and the deeply inspiring stories of the scientists who have struggled to uncover that beauty. And the magic of science and nature is best communicated through the magic of storytelling and theatre. If I had to describe my initiative in one sentence, it would be this. If wisdom begins in wonder, then theatre can be a powerful tool for communicating the wonder of science and nature. So what was my reason to start this project? Unlike the West, we in India have done almost nothing to tell the stories of our own scientists. For example, many people here would know who designed the wedding costumes of this Bollywood couple. But almost no one knows that this lady was among the first people to discover the meson way back in 1943. Or that this young boy discovered collapsing stars which ultimately formed black holes when he was just 19. Or that this Pakistani gentleman unified the weak and the electromagnetic forces, giving us the deepest explanation that we have of the universe today. And I felt it was high time that people came to know of these real stars and not just film stars. What surprised me most about this project? Well, the audience reactions, especially that of young people, but I let them speak for themselves.
Spirit of the Sonnet was a play that not only engages science lovers, but also anybody in general.
The second thing that I thought was incredible was it's a story that deserves to be told because I don't think I had known about this.
What makes the project unique? I think unlike most other science plays or films, there has been no attempt to dumb down the complex science involved in these plays. I have trusted and respected the audience's intelligence to make sense of it. But once again, I'll let them speak for themselves.
Fantastic play, not just very informative in terms of the science, but also very, very emotionally moving.
How does society benefit from the project? Over 15,000 people and nearly 5,000 young students have seen the play so far, and I hope many of them have been inspired and motivated by the experience, and that many more will. And this is what my child thinks about this project. So what questions remain unanswered? Well, the scalability of theatre can be a challenge, and I wonder whether we can use digital platforms better to be able to reach out to wider audiences. As for what keeps me awake at night, it's the fear of forgetting my lines on the night before the show. As a kid, I wanted to become Mr. Spock from Star Trek. And that dream has come half true. I may not have pointy ears, but my plays have taken me to places where no man has gone before.